Hello and welcome to the channel. Thanks for joining me today. Today I'm actually going to be looking at a Spectrum magazine, one of the most loved, which isn't Crash, but it is Your Sinclair, which is issue 1. So this was obviously Dennis Publishing. I've mentioned Your Sinclair a few times when I've discussed Zero, which is an all-time favourite of mine and in my top 3 games magazines. But Your Sinclair is not the type of thing that I really had too much of a look at, mainly because I wasn't a Spectrum owner. Like I've said so many times, my first machine was a Atari ST. Even though I have friends with Spectrums, my gaming experiences really ramped up when I got my own machine. So not many people actually bought mags this early on either, really. I mean, this is dated January 1986. It was originally called Your Spectrum and ran for a couple of years, and then it was relaunched as Your Sinclair, which lasted till, well, quite late 1993. So it did have quite a good run. It did end up being sold to Future Publishing. Some people prefer the Dennis era. Obviously some of the writers involved were just absolutely full of talent, who then went on to the likes of Zero, PC Zone and everything like that. So I'm just going to have a quick look at this, try and keep it as short as I can without waffling. So we have got Your Sinclair issue 1 with Commando on the cover. The Spectrum gets tough. So you're thinking at this time, obviously, 8-bit scene, absolutely, really ramping up, in full swing. It's just, there's so many arcade games happening as well, like your chip shops had arcade games in there, and it was all about, playing some of these arcade conversions at home. At least it was for me. When you go around to friends' houses, again, didn't have a machine at that point. It was always like, oh wow, I played this in arcade, and yeah. Anyway, let's have a look at issue 1. So straight away, I'm just going to zoom in a little bit here. We've got the contents page as well. Teresa Morn, also known as Tizer. She was an editor at this point. She only took over. I can't remember how many issues it was. I don't know if if she had like 2 years. 2 years into it, she's obviously working on the machine. Sorry, working on the magazine. But obviously, I'm going to be mentioning a few names here that some of you will be aware of. So straight away, we've got quite a few adverts starting off, and then we have got this front lines. So this is the news of what's going on in the world of Spectrum. So just to see if anything actually jumps out. It's really strange looking at it now, because you're thinking now this is getting on for 40 years old. It's just it's great to see, and again, the magazine's still in good condition as well. So we have got cheater joysticks now available, costing $8.95. So obviously a big fan of those. I think the cheater joysticks you used to see in a lot of places. Every time I went onto the market and game stalls, they always seem to have them. I'm just trying to have a quick look what we've got here. What is it? Sorry, I'm just gonna try and think it not to just babble on too much. Oh God, yeah, the news goes on for a good few pages here. And yeah, like I say, we're talking some quite small text as well. But it's set out really well as well. Anyway, sorry, I'm absolutely babbling on. So I'm going to hurry up with this as quick as I can. So I'm going to just point this part out. I know I'm babbling a little bit. So we've got the QL news. So obviously another Sinclair machine. With it being no longer called Your Spectrum, we're still giving it a little bit of love. I think that did fade away quite quickly in these early issues, of Your Sinclair. Sorry, I'm just thinking, starting to have a look at the hit list. So this month's top 10 titles, I think you'll be able to see what I mean. Obviously, as the issues went on, they did come a little bit more colourful. So just have a quick look at the chart. Fairlight at number 1, Wavy Exploding Fist at number 2, Daley Thompson's Super Test, Fighting Warrior, Shadow of a Unicorn, Lord of the Rings, Now Games, Frank Bruno's Boxing, Nightshade, and Sardarun's Shadow. As said, I'm not too up on Spectrum stuff, at least not this early. I think by the time we get to about 88, 89, you know, I'm seeing friends with Spectrums. I'm like a little bit more up on it. But like I say, I wanted to obviously cover this because it's such an iconic magazine. Okay, Supersonic Compo. This screams 80s, doesn't it? This is a competition to go on a Concorde. So totally different prize. There's also runner-up prizes of a Spectrum and a printer as well. But God, what a weird prize, you know, hitting the big guns straight away. And then we've also got a letters page. Despite this being issue 1 of a new magazine, I'm sure we had quite a few left over from before it got relaunched. And then also you've got these like little comic strips in the corner as well, which again, sign of the times really. You used to get quite a lot of things like this. Let's have a quick look. Right, I'm going to get to the actual games, I think, really. Here we go. So we have got Mega Game, Rasputin, Starry Night. So finally, bit of colour. Here we go. Obviously a load of text, but if you have a look at how it's set out here, you've got tons of big box outs. So again, quite easy to read. Well, apart from the size of the text, but I think that's partly to do with my old man eyes as well now. So it's having another preview into this. So last month you saw the storyboard. So last month must have been the last issue of Your Spectrum. This month you played the demo version. Now it's time to read the full review. Oh no, it says review, but so this is done by Firebird, but it's not actually giving it a rating. That's a really oh no, so it has, God, really hard to read this, really hard to read, but it's giving it a 9 down there. So it does break it down into graphics, playability, everything like that. So 9, not bad at all. Yeah, sorry, a bit more. I use this very loosely, a bit more slick usually, but I think I'm just like learning through this magazine myself. Advert here for Neverending Story, and then we've also got available at Boots the Spectrum digital drum system for the Spectrum, $29.95, done by Cheetah. Okay, I wonder if anyone actually used that. Bet Phil South has, who writes for Pixel Addict, because obviously he's really into his music as well. Then we've actually got an advert here, early-ish, Ocean title, Cosmic War Toad. We've also got some add-ons for your Spectrum there as well. I was like looking at the prices. What have we got? 56-way extension connector, £7.95. Aerial splitter, £2.25. Again, done by Cheetah. So we've taken out a fair few adverts in here. A Cheetah Sweet Talker, whatever that is, £25. 32k RAM pack, £40. I bet that was a lot of money back then as well, really. So let's have a look. What have we got here? We've got some up and coming games. Eye of the Mask and Tomahawk as well. And then we've also got the Goonies as an advert. We have got, hang on, what have we got here? I'm just like say looking for a couple of things that do just jump out. This one I used to have as well. They sold 1 million games compilation here. So I actually had this on my Commodore 64 though, not on a Spectrum, because I've still got a C64, which came with Dale Thompson's Decathlon, Saberwolf, Beachhead, Jet Set Willie, and Staff of, can't read, hang on, Staff of Carnath, I think. We've also got more reviews as well. So we're trying to fit quite a lot into this. I'm just trying to get to, what's this one? Okay. So, Ghost in the Machine, interview with, I think it's a David Crane, just having a quick look. So this is more or less halfway through the magazine. Yeah, so basically, yeah, so I interview here with David Crane, looking at some of his work, asking him a few questions as well. Not too much, you know, that you're going to get from 2 pages though, really. What else have we got? We've got a load of 8-page pull-out packed with program power as well. Literally has been pulled out. So again, loads of various code here for chopper mission. Type all this in. Buzz of days, eh? Although sometimes you do wonder with today's games that take so long to install, you know, if you're really fast at typing, you might get lucky and you could maybe beat it. Anyway, another thing reminiscent of the time, a comic strip as well. Something that we did feature once as a one-off, just to show the style of things that you used to get in computer magazines over in Pixel Addict. Last year, you know, there was a guy who was bringing that style back, you know. So yeah, it's interesting to see, you know, like how different things obviously changed even by, you know, the late 80s. You weren't really seeing that sort of thing as well. We've also got a little bit more QL stuff here, QL software buyer's guide. There's quite a few magazines though that have to do this, because like even things like the official Sega Saturn magazine, when that launched, it still had the odd little bit of Mega Drive stuff. So it's sort of like it doesn't want to fully alienate your audience. And then I remember like Super Play as well, that used to have less Super Nintendo and when it came to actual featured games, and the N64 stuff was really starting to you know, build up and everything. What else have we got? Just we have got, this is a big thing in most magazines back then, YS Adventurers. So again, adventure games, either tie-ins. Yeah, obviously didn't really have point and click adventures quite just yet, but we always had like, you know, the die-hard writers that knew the stuff, you know, for these sort of sections. And then what else have we got? We've got another advert here for Zorro. I think the adverts are over time as well. I mean, obviously all hand drawn, hand painted. So I mean, like this is a type of era of magazines I'm not too up on. So obviously it's quite a nice thing looking back and seeing some of this myself. You know, I mean, like I say, this issue 1, it changed so quickly. You know, you think like within about a year or so, you know, it turned into like the really funny writing, like I say funny, but it was also really well written as well. You've obviously got your adverts at the back for pen pals, you know, things to sail, swap. You've also got a double page ocean spread here as well. Knight Rider, Transformers, Rambo, and Street Hawk. So, okay. Not loads that I've actually been able to have a proper look at, really, with that. But I felt like it was important just to take a very quick look. I'm not going to have a look through all of this, but the other issue picked up there was issue 3 with V on the cover. Big part of the 80s V, and it still absolutely creeps me out, you know, just the idea of lizards pulling off a skin. Yeah, just really does I don't know, it just sounds so weird. I'll just see if there's just anything just in this issue 3 that just jumps out. Oh, here we go. Zoids as well. Speaking of the 80s cartoons and toys. But yeah, that's just it really. Very quick look. Because like I said, I do want to try and keep to about 15 minutes. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry that this one was a little bit more babbly. I am going to be looking at some Sega magazines this week, which is a little bit more in my comfort zone as well. But yeah, I felt like those early Your Sinclairs needed to be, looked at and discussed, even if it was only a little brief glimpse. All right, I'll see you soon, guys. Bye bye.